me. I'm thankful and grateful for everybody that is watching this live on Zoom or live on Facebook. Let me go and check and see what's going on with the folks on Facebook, see if I can see them. Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Sharon. How are you? I see you on Facebook. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we want to get into today's lesson. First, how's everybody doing? It's good to see Mocha Blue Blaze on the call today. It's very, very good to see you here.
Yes, I'm excited.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So without further ado, we're going to just run on and jump on into the lesson today. I know on Tuesday I had mentioned that we were going to start with the soul journey numbers today. However, it was brought to my attention by my boys Metatron and Thoth that I did not really break down the significance of our names. So I did talk about the soul journey being wrapped up in your name and all of those other things that were wrapped up in your name. But today, I really want to stress and talk about the importance of your name. How many of us one time or another, probably as a kid, didn't like your name? Anybody else other than me? My mother had a way of screaming my name. I grew up in the country out there in Tulare, California, and I grew up on Peace Street, and we had a porch, and my mom could come outside, and it's Old Dark 30, right before Old Dark 30, and she would come out on the porch, and she would say, "Mom!" And I would just be like, "Oh, brother, can you just stop it already? I want to change. I wanted to change it because of how she made it sound." Anybody else wasn't happy with their name, wasn't happy with how your mom or your dad or somebody called you? Yeah, soul therapist. Yeah, I feel you on that. Hated it. Soul therapist says she hated her name. Yeah, I believe that there is some combination of the soul in the womb and the mother come together and they choose a name for the child, for the birth that is coming through the portal. Our names are like I said on Tuesday, on Thursday. Our names are much more than what we will just answer to. Much more. Our entire existence, this incarnation, is written in your name. Your entire existence is written in the name you're given at birth. So today I'm talking about the names that we were given at birth, or the names that were assigned to us at birth. Though that name, whether you like it or not, is the most important and most significant name you will ever have. And that is your soul's journey. That name, whatever first, middle, family name, first, middle, family name, first, no middle, two family name, whatever, hyphen, yeah, whatever is that given name on your birth certificate, or as some folks call it, your government name, that is the name, that is your soul's journey. In that name, your soul journey resides. So there is no more important name. At least there's no one more important that we need to get to know. You can call yourself what you want, but you better know that given name. Get to know your given name, whatever on your official documents. Get to know it, because that is your soul's journey. Now, number one, each name given at birth has a definite bearing, definite significance, definite effect on the way your soul journey works and plays out. Each name. We, some of us have names on our birth certificates that are spelled differently than their sound, or there's a different, it was another name, but they couldn't spell it or whatever. Yeah, and we have corrected it, in our, not on an official document, but we've corrected it ourselves long enough to where, it's just accepted. Yeah, no, you still, whatever that screwed up part of that name is that is on that birth certificate, that's what's up. And that's the name that you need to get read, not the signature. The signature is what you have changed it to. Like I explained, my soul journey, excuse me, I got something in my note. My soul's journey is Mark Edward Pyle. It will be as long as I'm in this current incarnation. The coat, the suit, what I dress up Mark Edward Pyle in is Pythias B Metatron. That's how it's going to play out. It's going to play out through PB Metatron, but Mark Edward Pyle is what the soul journey is for me. For me. Your first name is your first step. The ways, not the way, the ways you are and the ways you be. Y'all know what I mean when I put the S on way, because there's multiple ways to each of us. Each of us is no one way each and every time we deal with a person. We change up on people that we deal with all the time. So it's your first name is your first step. That's your natural inclination. That's how you get down. That's how you look at shit. That's how you perceive things. That's how you process things. That's how you navigate yourself through life. Your first name is your first step. The ways you are and the ways you be, it's your personal behavioral nature. Y'all get that? It's your personal behavioral nature. It's your disposition. It's your attitudes. It's your actions. It's your emotions, your feelings. Yeah. Your first name. All of this is wrapped up in your first name. Is how I get down. You wanna know what a 7 get down like? Follow me around for a week. Film me and don't let me know it. And then you can put that on YouTube and say, this is what a 7, this is how a first step 7 gets down. It's what you naturally do. You don't even think about it. You don't think about your first step. You just do. You just do. It's how you react to adversity. It's how all of that. Your first name, the one that probably a lot of us didn't like from one time or another. Yeah, that name. That's who you are for everybody to see. Anybody got any comments about their first name and how was it versus how is it now? Told you I wanted to change mine just because how my mother used to botch it.
The same thing here. Like even to this day, if my mom says my name a certain way, I cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't like my name either growing up. I wanted like a regular name like Keisha or Lisa or something like everybody else, not Giselle. I know, right?
That's funny. Thank you for that.
Now I appreciate it though.
Absolutely.
I definitely appreciate it now. And it's unique. I never met anybody with that name. So
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Anybody else want to chime in?
It was a beautiful I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, you can't hear me? Okay. Well, I always liked my name. My uncle gave me my name, but I heard stories about the debate for my name before, and so that's why I appreciate my name so much. I was named after my father's car. He had an SS,
Okay.
but he wanted to name me Shaq Flukas. And I'm so happy that my uncle stepped in and was like, no, you're not gonna name my niece Shaq Flukas. What does that even mean?
Right.
I ended up finding out what it was supposedly meaning, but it was something my daddy made up, period. It was beautiful, but
Absolutely.
I would have got teased.
Oh, brutally. Brutal. Kids would have been real brutal.
Right. But I
With that.
appreciate I appreciate the triple S's in my given name, Shanice
Yes.
Scott. Yes, I do.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that. There have been names I've heard on television. Used to watch a lot of college football back in the day and a lot of college basketball. And some of these names I would hear, I would just like cringe. I was like, ooh, ooh. And some names I would sit back and be like, you know, there are some names that I've heard recently that I'm really proud of that sister girl named her son Amon Ra. And I am very, very encouraged by that. And I have a feeling that we're going to see more names like that in the generations that are coming up behind us as we step into this new paradigm. Thank you. Anybody else about their first name? Nope. All right. Your middle name is the storehouse where your inherent powers and latent talents can be accessed. And once they're accessed, they can fully support your soul's journey. Your middle name is, I kind of liken it to it being your center. Like if all hell break loose around you and it's a race riot over here and it's famine over here and it's a pandemic over here, you're going to fall back on what your middle name is. Whatever your middle name is, whatever the number vibration of your middle name, when all hell break loose, when situation normal, all fucked up, snafu come around, yeah, you fall back into your middle name. It's your storehouse it's where your inherent powers are. It's where your latent talents are. It's where your courage, yes, absolutely. Yes, a bridge. Yes, absolutely. It's where your courage, when you don't think you have any courage, is where that is. When you don't think you have any backbone, it's where that is. When enough is enough and you just need a little strength to take a first step, that's where it's coming from. It's coming from your middle name. It's coming out of your storehouse where all of your inherent powers, meaning powers on the inside that don't always get shown, those powers. And your latent talents. These are talents that you may or may not even know you have. However, they're there and they're wrapped up in your middle name. And once they've been accessed, then you could use them to fully support your soul's journey, and they'll support you on your soul's journey as well. My middle name, Edward, 28, 10-1. In the line of royalty in the United Kingdom, Edward was considered the fair king. He was fair. I would like to think that, at my core, I am fair. Forget the rough and the scruff and the gruff and the bark and the confrontation. I would think, and I kind of believe this, that at my core, I'm fair. I'm fair. If you don't deserve a clap back, you won't get it. However, if you do deserve a clap back, you will get it. Yeah, you will. Any comments about our middle names? All right, all right. And then C, your last name / family name is vibrationally strong and very influential. Normally it definitely indicates, family characteristics. I call it the family bowel history, the shit of the family, good, bad, ugly, and unexpected. That's all wrapped up in that last name. Your natural vocational, the vocational histories of the family and leanings, which would be natural vocational avenues for you. The things that your ancestors did 3, 4, 5 generations back will be something natural for you. Yes, Victorious.
So what happens if your father didn't know his father and then he took his mother's last name instead? Is that just the way it's meant to be? Because I know there are no accidents.
Yeah, that's the way it's meant to be. And whatever, like I said, whatever gets recorded, that's what the universe reacts to. Whatever is recorded on them official documents. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you deal with your vocational histories and leanings and your lineage background. And what I really mean by your lineage background is your spiritual practices 10, 12, 15 generations ago. Those show up in your name in a spiritual lineage numerology reading. Yes, they do. So you can find out who or how you come about to be the spiritualist you are just by understanding the family last name that you were born under and given to. And don't be afraid to do the research on that family name and be prepared to see all color and all regions of this planet represented in your lineage. Don't be surprised if somebody didn't know the whole story. Maybe their story only started in Texas. Somebody didn't know about Ireland and England, or Germany and France, or Australia, or New Zealand, or Hungary, or Italy, or shit, even here, because there's a quiet secret, about who was really here when the colonizers got here. It's a quiet secret. We're not gonna get into that. That's gonna be a topic on my upcoming show. That's gonna be titled "Now What." We're gonna touch on all of the political and socio-economical issues that affect people of color. But that's another topic. So yeah, just by analyzing that family name, that last name alone, gives you a leg up in a lot of areas, especially when you're looking to make decisions about your vocation and your spirituality. You really, 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 you can't go wrong by getting just that name broken down by itself. So any questions about first, middle, or last name? Any comments? Nope. All right. Next, I want to talk about all names given at birth. All names given and recorded at birth indicate talent and character. So what I mean by that is Mark has his own talent and character. Edward has his own talent and character. Pyle has his own talent and character. Sometimes, and this is where I'm going with this, even though they all have their own talent and character, sometimes names may work or pull against one another. Mark and Edward are always clashing. My first name and my middle name. Because the one in Edward, the 10-1 in Edward is, and the 7 is like, dude, chill out, sit down somewhere. Just, yeah, we know you fair and want to do all of this, but have a seat, sit down. Your names, although inherently individual and they all have their own talent characters, sometimes they can work against one another. And then that makes your soul's journey complicated, especially if you don't understand what's really going on. If you think it's the job that's tripping, or if you think it's your spouse or your kids or your neighbor, or the mailman is purposely dropping my mail in the mud, or it's an internal conflict that's going on in your names. When that conflict goes unchecked, makes our soul journey, makes the path that we're on, wherever we are in our evolution, it makes that current path complicated. And once we have enough of complication, what does that turn into? Burden. So it becomes burdensome to live up to that soul journey. That's when when each of us has our one of a few dark nights of the soul, when we're just like, what is all of this for? What am I doing? Where you just exasperated, just it always comes in the form of something outside, or some form of tangible or intangible thing or object that you can place your hand on or your thought on, but it's always an inner conflict. It's always the inner conflict. Again, Mark takes 16 years to live through. Every 16 years, I start over at the M. Edward is 28 years, so I'm through Mark and starting again, and I'm still going through Edward. And then Pyle is in between Edward and Mark. So yeah, I'm always got to balance something in my names. I consciously have to do that. Consciously have to do that. That's number one. That's the first thing that you have to do if your soul's journey becomes complicated and burdensome and annoying and irritating and any of those adjectives that I'm talking about, and we all been there before. And we'll all probably, each one of us will be there again a time or two. However, when those times come up, we got 3 things that we can do that could bounce us out of it. And it's built in our name already. It's built in our name. Number 1, find the balance in your names. And then from there, it's easy. Strive for inner harmony of your names. Just like we affirm for the place to stay, and we affirm for the new vehicle, and we affirm for a job, and affirm for this and affirm for that, we can affirm for our names to be balanced. We can affirm for the horse shit in our life to stop. Instead of some little material or tangible thing that we want to get that we think is going to make a difference, when the real difference is just get rid of this toxicity in my life path. Being on this side of my life path versus the other side, I will take all of what I have right now, and I would never trade it for any of the money I ever made in corporate America. Nobody got enough money to get me to go back there. Not even close. It's not worth it for me. It's not. So when your journey gets complicated, when it gets burdensome, when it gets heavy, when you no longer can see clearly in front of you, just quiet yourself with some meditation, some breathing, and then ask your higher self to show you the imbalance in yourself. You don't have to say your names, because when you ask your higher self to show you the imbalance in yourself, it's dealing with your names. And you will get an answer. I do it daily, because I be out of balance daily. Daily I'm a bunch of odd numbers. I wake up out of balance. I go to bed out of balance. The only time I get any balance is in sleep sequence. And then I'm out in the astral, don't want to come back, and physical body is here talking about, hey, well, I'm waking up, dude. So you better do something. Yeah, when it gets complicated, burdensome, overwhelming, in any adjective, fearful, any of those, find the balance in your name to strive for inner harmony. Yes, victorious.
So, I have a lot of odd numbers in my name too. So I'm constantly out of balance. And ironically, I was looking through my crystal collection and I realized that I didn't have a lot of stones to ground me. And so probably like within the last 6 months, I found stones to help with that. And
Yes,
I have found that like stones to ground your lower chakras potential, especially really helps with staying in balance when you have a lot of odd numbers.
absolutely. Absolutely. I keep them on. I got stones over here, stones around my neck, stones on this side, stones in my pocket, stones in the car, stones out at the smoking section of my backyard here. I got them everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. Got them in the
They-
corners. They're all over the place. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's best that's why it's so important that we ground ourselves, in the beginning of our meditation here with on the sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron, because we can't accomplish anything if we're not first grounded and centered. Can't accomplish anything. So yeah. So when it gets complicated, when it gets burdensome, and it feels like it's tough to live up to your soul journey, find the balance in your name and strive for inner harmony. That's number one. Number two, recognize your own toxic patterns and head them off before they manifest. Right now, I feel like I used to feel in the Baptist church when I would say something that I knew I wasn't going to get a lot of amens out of, because nobody really think that they toxic. However, in every toxic relationship, both of us been toxic. And they just one person that's toxic enough for both of y'all. No. If there's a toxic relationship, there's toxic patterns in each one of us. We have been in ourselves our entire lives. So we, better than anybody else, should be able to recognize our toxic patterns. I know mine real well. Real well. And it's up to me when I see that pattern beginning to manifest, it's up to me to head that off. It's up to me to do what I have to do to make sure that that pattern doesn't repeat itself. It's a choice. It's everything that we do is a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. But you must find a balance in your name, strive for inner harmony. Then you must recognize your toxic pattern and head it off before it manifests. And then the last one, become the numbers expert on yourself. Everything about us, the good, the bad, the ugly, unexpected, is wrapped up in your numbers. If you know that going to a certain place is going to prompt a negative response from you, if you know that ahead of time, are you going to still go to that place and get that negative response, or are you going to choose somewhere else to go to get the positive response? That's what our life, our soul journey is. Our soul journey without numerology, without astrology, without the cards, our soul journey is, oh, damn, what am I going to get into today? I have no idea where I'm going or what I should be doing. I'm just along for the ride, you know, looking up like a tourist. With these tools, with numerology, with the card sciences, with astrology, then you have the map. Without it, we're just wandering around. With these tools, we have a map. Any journey is easier to complete when you have a map versus you're just going to start off and then let's just head this way. Oh, no, you get so far down the road, you're like, shit, let's turn around and go back the other way. And then you go so far that way and you're like, damn, and you end up going down the same road, back and forth, back and forth. Become the numbers expert on yourself. Your numbers have your every situation, listen to this, and solution. Your numbers have your every situation. That's the beauty about numerology. Every situation that you could possibly, probably come into or face is written in there, and a solution for each one of those is written in there too. Become the numbers expert on yourself. You can review every situation and have a solution according to the numbers. You can run the numbers on everything, and you can get you positive. You can get you the solution that it should be, instead of just leaving it up to that shit that I say don't happen, random chance and coincidence. Leaving it up to, oh, I'm just gonna leave it up to God. No, no. We don't roll like that. Not and be a master of creation. You know, I can boldly say that I'm a master of creation. I didn't create the world. I didn't create the heavens and the earth and all of that. So I don't want nobody jumping down my head, but I created all of this shit that I'm doing right here. I created my environment where I'm at right now. That vehicle that I drive that's parked out in front, I created that. So I master some creation. Absolutely. Soul therapist, a master of one's own experience. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I am very grateful for being my own numbers expert for myself. Y'all got to know, as much as I can read it for you, you got to know I read it that much or even more for myself. You have to know that. All right. Any questions? Any questions on when your journey becomes complicated or burdensome? Find your balance, strive for inner harmony, recognize your own toxic patterns and head them off before they manifest. And this become the numbers expert really just means know yourself and get into your numbers and deal with shit on your numbers. When I say on the sevens, I mean I do everything on the sevens. That's my number. I have the best experiences when I deal with the sevens. The greatest opportunities come to me through the sevens. So through this, we're going to identify what each person's number is. And like I said, some of y'all might be doing shit on the fives, or somebody on the eights, somebody on the threes, whatever it is, that's how we're going to roll. And I'm going to connect you with that, and we're going to maximize it. And we're going to have a bunch of folks that's going to have shows on with a number on them. Duplicating others, what the cosmos and the universe has done in you. All right, let's run on to number 3. It is the sum total of all your given birth names. So Mark is a 16, Edward's 28, Pile is 22. You add those all up, sum total of that is 66. It is the sum total of all your given birth names. That is your mastered self. 66 is my mastered self. Your master self, which represents reaching the pinnacle, the top, the apex of your life's purpose, is foremost in importance. So, yeah, we break your name down to a single digit number and all of that, but do not sleep on what the total of your name is, because that is your mastered self. That's the pinnacle of your life's purpose right there. And that is the foremost importance, because that is ultimately what will be worked and played out before you check out of here. My advice to each and every one of us on this is to give this number, whatever your full name adds up to, without reducing it down to a single digit, give this number its full meaning to discover why you incarnated and what your soul's journey means to you, not what it means to anybody else, what it means to you. See, started out and, gung-ho, I was reading 100, 200 free charts a week and doing all of this research and all of this. And one day it came to me just that I wasn't doing what I was doing for myself, and that I had just traded it for what I did in corporate America. And I was beginning to feel burdened down by it. I was beginning to feel like, oh, fuck, this is a job now. And it took on a different meaning. And I had to really sit down with myself and really explore why I was feeling that way. And once I pinpointed why I started to feel that way, it became apparent to me that I had to do this for me. That Frank Sinatra song, I did it my way. Yeah. I can't fit into nobody else's box. I can't do it any other way like anybody else. I can't, and I should not have expected to be able to find someone with a blueprint that I could have just plugged and played all the way in. No, I had to trial and error and do a whole bunch of finagling to get to where we are today. My journey means this is my lifestyle. Now, before, I would say 2015, 2016, it was something that I was doing because I couldn't do something else anymore. Do you guys get what I mean by that? That 2009 to about 2015, I was doing what I'm doing now, yet I was doing that because I couldn't do my corporate America thing anymore. That was my mindset. So might as well do this because I can't do that. 2015, into 2015 came, I had this epiphany. Wow, everything changed and everything took off incrementally, but everything began to take off after that. My soul journey means something to me now. I'm grateful and thankful for all that I, will be able to touch and help teach and help heal and usher in transformations and ascensions and all of that. I'm really, truly grateful for everybody that I'm going to be able to assist in that. However, I'm more grateful for me and my part of the journey. It's not selfish either, because I'm still doing what I do. but I'm more grateful for me. And you have to be more grateful for you in all that you do. It's not selfish to be more grateful for yourself, because we forget about ourselves. We serve and serve and serve and serve and get stepped on and get wiped, we get people to put their muddy shoes / feelings on us, and they tears and all of that. Y'all as practitioners on this call, all of that. Love you more than you love it. Love yourself more than loving what you do. Make sure your soul journey means something to you, not just to the people that you're serving. Any comments? All right. Now, last two I'm going to cover, very important. If you are born in a foreign country, which means if you're born somewhere other than America, if you're born somewhere other than America where there was a language other than English, figure your name in your native language. Figure your name the way it is on your official documents from your native language, because the changes that they make when you come over here, or you change them yourself to simplify when you come over here, that serves like the signature, just like Pi Frizz B Metatron serves Mark Edward Pyle. Figure the name that's the way it's written in your native language. If you truly are seeking the proper insight into who you are and why you do what you do. And then lastly, for today, we will get into numbers 1 through 5 on Tuesday. But lastly for today, in cases of adoption, if an original name was given, even temporarily, use this name to find your true soul's journey. The adopted name shows how your soul's journey will be worked and played out. But the true soul's journey will be that original name if it was recorded. So use that one if you want the true essence of your name. Give me a moment. Let me look over here. Ooh, I got some questions now. What does it mean? Say it takes 16 years to live through my first name. Sharon asked the question, what does it mean when I say it takes me 16 years to live through Mark? Because if you add up the M, which is 4, the A is 1, the R is 9, and the K is 2, that equals 16. So it takes me 4 years to go through the M, another year to go through the A, 9 years to go through the R, and 2 years to go through the K. So you live through your letters. That's the nature of your essence. Your essence is where you are in each one of your names at any given point. So that's why it takes 16 years to go through Mark, 22 years to go through Edward, 28 years to go through Edward, and 22 years to go through Pyle. All right. Any questions, any comments about anything that we've covered today? It really, really, really is important that you get a full understanding of your name, and get the name read, even if it's the one that you don't like. Get that official name read and find out what the sum total is of that name. And then let's begin to map out how we can put each other on the path of fulfilling that mastered self, of connecting with that mastered self. I know how to connect each of us to our mastered self. And once you get connected with your mastered self, that soul journey just kicks in. And there's really nothing you could do about it. You're just going along for the ride at that point. So anybody got any comments, any questions? Anybody want to say anything before we close out today? All right. I'm really thankful and grateful for everyone who has joined me today for On the Sevens with Python B Metatron, where we come to awaken, ascend, and expand. We do go through the 88 steps into your mastered self. And I guarantee you, if you keep coming back to On the Sevens with Python B Metatron and make it a part of your spiritual journey, somewhere along the way, your mastered self awaits you. I love each and every one of you. I'm not saying goodbye forever. I'm just saying goodbye for now. See you guys Tuesday.